second most favorite day of the week. Number one would be Saturday. So, wanted to have a quick conversation today about BMW twin power. I know this has been discussed before, but I still see this come up here and there, and I've had this conversation a few times. So I figured I'd make a video about it, or a vlog about it. So it's a little bit confusing because if you have, for example, a 335 2011 and newer, or a 328, I think 2012 and newer, the newer body style, and probably now the 330, I think it's called, 330, 340, for the brand new ones that just came out. On the engine cover, it says twin power. I believe my wife's X5 also says twin power. Well, twin power does not mean twin turbo. That's where it seems a lot of people are confused, because like I look at cars that are for sale all the time. It's kind of one of those hobbies, I guess. I'm always like on Craigslist and cars.com, Auto Trader, and so on, eBay. Even though I'm not really buying anything right now, I still want to look. I'm a car guy, so well, I still see people label. So this is probably the most confusing model. So the E90, so this is the 2006 through 2011 3 Series is considered the E90, if you don't know. It came two ways. So if you bought a 335 when they first came out through 2010, they were all twin turbo inline sixes. If you bought a 2011, which was the last year of that body style, it is not a twin turbo, it's a single turbo. Now, relatively speaking, the engine and everything outside of this turbo setup is exactly the same. The reason I even know that is because my wife has a 2011 X5. So every 2011 inline 6 turbo engine went to that newer single turbo setup in 2011. So it doesn't really matter what car you have. So it could be a 535, it can be an X5, a 335. They all went to single turbo. And I've had some major work done on my wife's X5, so I did a lot of research, and after looking at the diagrams, they're exactly the same engine. I don't know if there's minor tweaks here and there, but engine wise it's the same, like 3-liter inline 6 engine, just with one turbo on it basically, so slightly different manifold. Now I'm going to tell you why you want the 2011 over the 2000 or the pre-2011. So why you want the single turbo. So first of all, again, twin power for BMW is a little bit misleading. It actually means twin scroll. So it's a single turbo, but it's a twin scroll turbo. Twin scroll basically means there's another outlet from the exhaust, I believe it's the exhaust, that goes to the turbo, and it's a much smaller pipe. And basically what it does is when you shift, if you don't know how turbo cars work, when you shift, you lose your boost, right? Because it's pressure. So the turbo builds pressure, and so when you're shifting, you're losing that air pressure basically that you've already created. So your turbo has to spool back up, and this is why very large turbos, especially older ones, have what's called turbo lag, because like nothing's happening until that turbo basically spools up to create the needed pressure to give you that extra horsepower. So the newest turbos are, especially on stock cars, are usually pretty small, so they spin up really fast. And then what twin scroll lets you do is basically it keeps your turbo spooled up to a degree. Basically, it's still pushing airflow through it while you're shifting. So it makes the turbo like more efficient. So basically the car feels more like a regular non-turbo car. I hope I explained that well enough. So that's what BMW means by twin power. There's actually, again, just one turbo in there. Especially if you think of your sorry, maybe the angle will be a little better. You know, your the new 328s, 330s are 4 cylinders. You know, so to put 2 turbos, I don't know if that's been done yet or not. I don't think anybody's ever done a twin turbo on a 4-cylinder. It's possible. I don't see why you couldn't do it, but I don't think anybody's ever done it. I don't know if there's enough airflow coming out of, like, you know, just 2 cylinders for a turbo. But if you put a small enough turbo, like, you know, anyhow. So that's the difference. Now here's the reason, if you're buying a BMW, why you want the 2011 single turbo. It's also called the N55 engine code. The previous one is N54. Do you need to know that? Probably not, but it still, like, there's actually different engine codes for these engines. So here's the deal with the initial kind of N54 rollout. Those engines have more issues. Their manifolds get clogged up more, way more. Like, there's people who actually do like walnut shell blasting for your manifolds, just because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, they're direct injection engines, which a lot of direct injection engines have this issue. And they seem to basically have figured it out in 2004 to the 2011 single turbo setup. So that's one of the things. So my mechanic, actually, I have 2 mechanics, kind of like one Audi one and one everything else guy. He has an 08 335. I think it's actually stage 2, which basically means it has some bolt-ons and some tuning. And that thing is pretty powerful. Pretty certain it's at 400 or more horsepower now. And again, it's just mild stuff. It's just all bolt-on stuff. And, you know, he's already had the intake cleaned. He's already had had to have the injectors replaced. You know, among some other things. So, but my 2011 X5 doesn't have those issues. So because we had some major repair done, it has nothing to do with the turbos of that engine. It's kind of a long story, which we'll probably do a vlog on. Also kind of a weird BMW design flaw. I think it's, you know, it's something that you probably couldn't test for, maybe, but anyhow. So he took my intake manifold off and it was completely clean. You know, and the car's got, at the time, probably like 80,000 miles. You know, where a lot of the twin turbo cars have this issue, you know, at 50,000 miles. So that's the thing, and it simplifies things also, right? Because if you're, especially going to tune the car, I'm assuming you can maybe get more power out of the twin turbo setup, but if you need to replace 2 turbos over 1 turbo, you're talking double the cost. And I think on those cars, it's not like my S4 where you're going to pull the engine out. I think you can get to them from underneath or from the side because it's an inline 6. And if you don't know, inline 6, just basically exactly what it sounds like. They're 6 cylinders all in a row, where a V6 is in the shape of a V, so it's 3 to the left, 3 to the right, kind of staggered formation. BMW is kind of known for their inline 6 engines. So, still, you're talking about double the cost, especially if this is just your daily driven car. You know, you're gonna get to the point where those turbos will go out. You know, especially if you're keeping the car for a long time, over 100,000 miles. You know, if you're leasing it, who cares? But that's kind of the myth. So in case this is just kind of my way of letting you guys know like what the differences are. Again, twin power just means twin scroll single turbo. Now if you have like a V8 version, like a 5, there is like a twin turbo V8 version that I actually don't know if that says twin power on the engine covers. That engine comes on like on the 550 or the X5. It just says 5.0 I think on the side of it, for the engine size. 750 cars like that, that's a different story. But on the 6-cylinder models and the 4-cylinder models, it's all now just one turbo. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe to my channel, hit like down below. You know, if you like the episode, or you have somebody that this conversation really applied to, please share it with your friends and family, and look for more videos. Cars are coming. We've been having some kind of crappier weather here in San Diego, so you know, I prefer to start doing car reviews on a nice sunny day in beautiful weather with beautiful clean cars. But they are coming. I know I keep saying that, but they will be here, I promise. Okay, thank you again. Please subscribe, and look forward to the next episode.